Hey, it's Goldie, and I'm back with another video. So for some odd reason, you all never leave this beautiful lawyer's name on the comments or in the comments when you all share her videos. So I'm not able to provide any credit for this information, but I want us to take a quick listen at a beautiful brown Texas attorney informing us that it is now illegal to check your man's phone. Let's get into this real quick.
Brace yourself, clutch your pearls, grab a tissue for the tears. It is now illegal to go through your husband's phone. And this is for every ear that can hear me. This is not just a Texas issue. This is also a federal crime. The Federal Wiretap Act states it is unlawful to intercept any wire, oral, or electronic communication. It is also unlawful to disclose the contents of the wire, oral, or electronic communication. Y'all know what's considered electronic communication? Text messages, emails, DMs. And it doesn't matter if you're in a community property state, saying that the phone is community property will not work. Even if your husband willingly gave you his password, it still would not work. The courts feel that even if he did give you the password, you went beyond the scope of what he thought you would reasonably be doing with his phone, such as taking screenshots of a text message that you would eventually use against him in court. I was in court waiting on my turn, watching another hearing before me. It was a divorce case and the wife was on the stand talking about adultery. Her attorney then started the process of admitting text messages into evidence that showed the husband was talking to this woman, and it was very inappropriate. The text messages 100% proved husband was cheating. There was photos, there was conversations about the other night. All of a sudden, husband lawyer jumps up and says, Your Honor, I think you need to admonish the witness about her Fifth Amendment right to self-incrimination because she's about to tell on herself and admit to a crime. Then he turns ever so slightly and says, I think you might want to tell her lawyer as well because they'll both be in jail together. The judge then proceeds to tell her that how she came about getting those text messages out of her husband's phone is potentially a violation of the Texas Wiretap Act and the Federal Wiretap Act. He looks up at her lawyer and says, Counsel, the fact that you're in possession of unlawful potential wiretap material incriminates you as well. And the judge did a quick recess so everyone could go consult with criminal law attorneys. Somehow you made it to the end of this video without choking. If you are still with us, here's a bonus. Here's an honorable mention. It is also now illegal for you to have air tags on your children if you're in the middle of a custody case. Let me know in the comments which one of these 5 laws had you almost throw your phone on the floor, and I'll see you in the next one.
Yeah, it sounds alarming, but guess what, baby? I'm still not deterred just yet. See, let me tell you, where there's smoke, there's fire. And for me, I'm gonna get to the bottom of it. Let's go ahead and dissect a little bit about what the lawyer mentioned here. The first term she mentioned was intercept, that it is illegal to intercept a message. Let's first take a look at what intercept means. Per the Merriam-Webster dictionary, intercept means to stop, seize, or interrupt in progress or course before arrival. And then it also says to stop communication or information that is meant for another party. Now, what that I think, now I'm not an attorney, and you can consult one if you need one, but from my perception, that means if you use one of those text apps where you can mirror your spouse's text messages so that once they come into your spouse's phone, you also get a copy or something like that, that is what intercept means. It means to stop or seize or interrupt in progress a communication before it gets to its intended destination. All right, let's move forward a little bit.
It is also unlawful to disclose the contents of the wire, oral, or electronic communication. Y'all know what's considered electronic communication? Text messages, emails, DMs.
Now, she goes further to say that it's illegal to disclose the information that you do find in the phone. And what that means is that it's unlawful to repeat verbatim what it is that you found in the phone, or also screenshot what it is that you found in the phone. And she's going to go further into that. But aside from repeating or screenshotting, it's also sharing the information. So if you copy it onto your phone so that you can present it in court, as she mentioned, or you send it around to other people, for example, revenge porn or other things like that, then those are unlawful actions which can lead to prosecution for you.
And it doesn't matter if you're in a community property state, saying that the phone is community property will not work. Even if your husband willingly gave you his password, it still would not work. The courts feel that even if he did give you the password, you went beyond the scope of what he thought you would reasonably be doing with his phone, such as taking screenshots of a text message that you would eventually use against him in court. I was in court waiting on my turn, watching another hearing before me. It was a divorce case, and the wife was on the stand talking about adultery. Her attorney then started the process of admitting text messages into evidence that showed the husband was talking to this woman, and it was very inappropriate. The text messages 100% proved husband was cheating. There was photos, there was conversations about the other night. All of a sudden, husband lawyer jumps up and says, Your Honor, I think you need to admonish the witness about her Fifth Amendment right to self-incrimination because she's about to tell on herself and admit to a crime. Then he turns ever so slightly and says, I think you might want to tell her lawyer as well because they'll both be in jail together. The judge then proceeds to tell her that how she came about getting those text messages out of her husband's phone is potentially a violation of the Texas Wiretap Act and the Federal Wiretap Act. He looks up at her lawyer and says, Counsel, the fact that you're in possession of unlawful potential wiretap material incriminates you as well. And the judge did a quick recess so everyone could go consult.
Now, here is where things get a little juicy. I don't know why any woman would tell her man that she's seeking to gather information on, that she's gone through his phone and taken pictures of incriminating information. If there was information seen, why wouldn't that lady go ahead and do what she needed to do in terms of snooping in that phone? No one would know. And then hire a private investigator. Now, what we're talking about is a divorce. What we're talking about are legal proceedings. What we're talking about are prenuptial agreements and violations of said contracts. With that being said, why would you tell the man that you know is in breach of those contracts that you have information to prove that he is in breach when you could simply hire a private investigator, and that investigator would ensure that that phone information is subpoenaed and entered into court as evidence? So that goes something like, he done left his phone open in the middle of the night and I done seen it. And I got the text messages. Well, I read the text messages about him and Betty Sue and how they was getting it in the other day. And no, I'm not going to take a picture of this. And no, I'm not going to save it for evidence to enter into court. But what I am going to do is hire a private investigator because I have reason to believe that he is up to something malicious. He is up to something sneaky. And my private investigator is going to get to the bottom of it and get those documents, that communication subpoenaed and entered into court information. Now, who knows that you saw anything? Who knows that you read anything? Because a private investigator is going to do what a private investigator does. And what you do is allow that to happen.
Attorneys. Somehow you made it to the end of this video without choking. If you are still with us, here's a bonus. Here's an honorable mention. It is also now illegal for you to have air tags on your children if you're in the middle of a custody case. Let me know in the comments which one of these 5 laws had you almost throw your phone on the floor, and I'll see you in the next one.
So by now, you should have already been able to surmise that this advice is based on surveillance. And that's why she is speaking of the Wiretap Act. We have the definition of what that wiretap is, and it's an act of using a listening device to conduct surveillance, typically over a phone line. And now that's a little old school because we modern these days. So that's why we are talking about intercepting in terms terms of text apps or even the Apple tag that she mentioned in the end that you could put on a child and find out or determine where your spouse is taking the child during their court-approved time with the child that they spend alone. So what we are talking about is surveillance, okay? Now, for those of you who are not married and who are not going through a divorce, this information really has nothing to do with you. You find out that your man is cheating, and you can do one of two things. You can stay or you can leave. Either one is up to you. But most times when women talk about the fact that they don't want to check those phones, it's because they know they're not going nowhere. And you know what? If you're not going anywhere, you shouldn't check the phone. You should let him cheat in peace, all right? Don't disrupt him, and don't disrupt your own peace, because you know you're not going to do anything about it. But for those of us who will do something about it, if you get the inkling that you think that your spouse is cheating or your boyfriend is cheating, and you know that you will leave him, I'm not saying do what you got to do, but do what you got to do to get your information so that you can know that you aren't crazy, that you aren't wrong, that he been lying, and you can pack your bags and you can go. But let's take a second and listen to what our big sis, Mother Shira, had to say about checking phones.
What's your opinion of going through a man's phone? What you doing on that phone? You making it worthwhile? If you find something, are you leaving? What you gonna do? You gonna use it for leverage? Are you finna get paid? If you go through his phone and you don't have a plan to get paid by whatever you find, then don't go through it. Sprinkle, sprinkle. If you going through it, find some evidence, screenshot, send to your own phone. If you're going through it, do what you gotta do to get paid in the future or the now. Why? Because otherwise you're wasting your time. Your reason needs to be to get more. Don't go in there looking for nothing because of your emotions. Go in there looking for something for your bank account. Okay. If you're going through a man's phone, you know you're going to find something. I don't care what it is. You're going to find something that may offend you, or it may be something small or something big. You may find some pics. I don't know what you're going to find. But whatever it is, are you prepared to deal with it? And is it going to be worth your while? That's all I'm saying.
Now, we know that that is not legal advice, and we also know that we will not be screenshotting and sharing any of the information that we find. But what we do find, we will make it worth our bottom line. If you are married and you are going through a divorce, you are going to hire the appropriate professional to help you get to the bottom of the issue. And if you are simply dating this man who has been lying to you, leading you on, gaslighting, and playing in your face, all right, what you are going to do if you're not going to leave is still find a way to increase your bottom line. Whether that is giving him a list of gifts that you need and you want to receive from him. If you want to get that new car and have him pay a couple of those car notes before you leave. Whatever it is, you make sure that it is worth your while before you exit the relationship, if ever. I mean, you don't have to go. There's plenty of women who stay and be cheated on, all right? But don't allow this revelation, which has been a very beneficial revelation. Don't allow this revelation to continue to help you close your eyes and close your ears from the truth of the matter, and that is that your man is cheating on you. All right? Don't let this revelation about wiretap and surveillance and the law and a federal law be the reason why you continue to stay in a relationship that does not serve you. All right? Now, thank you all for listening to my video today. See you all again soon. Bye.